like to share with you for a brief moment from the scripture in Matthew 8 and verse 23. And when he was entered into a ship, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he said unto them, Why are you fearful, O you of little faith? Then he rose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, What manner of man is this? That even the winds and the sea obey. My topic is facing the uncertainty of tomorrow. As we approach a new year, many like to make a New Year's resolution, and they wanted to make a change in their life, or whatever the case may be. But whether you have it on paper, or you have it and nobody else knows about it, I just wanted to encourage you that as we face this new year, it is not like a present that you take second and open. It's a year that none of us know what the months, the days, or the weeks, or the hours, or the minutes will bring to us. And so it is for us to prepare ourselves to face the uncertainty. And so here we see Jesus and his disciples in a ship. And suddenly, they were in the midst of a storm. But Jesus was sleeping peacefully. He was confident. He didn't have to worry what was going to happen. But the disciples, we know what they had to deal with. And so when the storm comes, all of a sudden, the disciples became fearful and in doubt. Even the disciples who were fishermen. We all know that if you have to go and do fishing, you must be able to swim. And so even if the storm is raging, you must be able to find your way out. But even those that could swim, this storm was out of their control. And so with us as Christians, that when we face the storm, it don't matter how strong we say we are as Christians, but at times doubt creeps into our minds because we expect God to act right now as we are going through it. We don't have any patience. We just want Him to act right now. And so the fear comes upon them. They assume that all is going to drown. But yet Jesus was so calm. He was laying sleeping. And so when they go and wake him up, he said to them, "Oh, ye of little faith." Well, for us as Christians, we must know that when we are going through our storm, John 15 and verse 7 said, "If he abide in me, and my word abide in you, he shall ask what he will, and it shall be done." So we must trust God in the midst of our situation. Don't allow the doubt to cloud our judgment, because then we'll find ourselves in worse trouble. And so we see that sometimes when we doubt God, that He won't help us, He won't come in time, and so we find other ways to fix the problem rather than trust in God. But he said we're not to be anxious over anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, let our requests be known unto God. So we must trust God in walking forward day by day. Bring all our cares and all our burden, bring it to the Lord, because we can rest in the Lord's promise. And we know that God will never go back at his word. Hebrews 10 and verse 35 says, cast not away therefore your confidence, which had great recompense of reward. Isaiah 40 and verse 31 tells us about the power of God, for whose in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar in wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. And then we see that in spite of whatever struggle that we'll face in 2014, don't bury your face and give the devil the reward. Look up and call upon Jesus. That's what the disciples did. They turned to him. Even though they doubt themselves. But Jesus was right there. Now we know even in our house when we face the storm, he might not be there in person, but we have him in our hearts. So therefore, why should we be in fear? If we have God in our heart, we have the word, we have the song. We heard Mother said when she reached at that point, there's a song that comes in her heart that allow her to get away from whatever she was thinking and knowing that God is going to work it out. And this is what we should do when we face the storm, because we know 2014 will come with some uncertainties. And therefore, how are we going to deal with it if we're not prepared? And so we should be prepared when the uncertainty comes upon us as we go through this new year. And so St. John 14 and verse 27 said, peace I leave with you, my grace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled. Do not be afraid. So the disciples were in the midst of the storm. They're fearful. They were uncertain. But they knew where to turn. They turned to the Lord.